Mean guitar. Ah! We're back with the best guitar series on YouTube. By now you should already know that we're talking about riffs that make you go. Today we have the Drop G episode. This is an episode that I wanted to do for quite a while now for reasons you're about to see. And I finally get to do it. And this episode is also sponsored by Statement Collective, but more on that later. So let's not waste any more time and get right into the riffs. To start off, we have one of the most requested bands to be featured on this episode, and it's also actually one of the first bands that I thought of that I wanted to include. It's Whitechapel with the song Bedlam. I think if you're a fan of Whitechapel, if you're a fan of deathcore, you are very pleased with their latest album, and I'm no exception of that. I really enjoyed the album they released this year, and I went for the intro riff of this song because it's kind of a slammy riff and I just really enjoyed it. I don't know, when I was listening to this album, because I knew I wanted to include a song from this album for this video, this one was the one that I kept going back to the most. So hey, here you go. Next up, we have one of the bands that I've been listening to the most for the last several months, I guess. It's Sanguisugabogg with Dead as Shit. I know that this is their most popular song, the most obvious choice, but the intro riff is just an undeniable riff. It's extremely simple and extremely catchy. It's a lot of fun to play. I just love playing riffs that have a lot of pinch harmonics in them, and it just felt right to include it. I mean, following that, we have another very requested band for this episode. It's not a band that I listen to often, but I get why a lot of people like them and want to include them here. It's Throne with On The Verge. I think this is one of their most popular songs. Last time I included them, I think I played Parasite. And I really am just choosing this song because the riff is simple and fun to play, but also a lot of people requested this specific song. And if you ask me, there's nothing wrong with adding a crowd pleaser. But now we have the band that I'm the most excited to include on this episode. And a lot of you that follow me already know which band I'm talking about. I just haven't stopped talking about them for the past several months. It's Psycho Frame with Straight Jacket Afterbirth. This is the band that I listen to the most for the past several months. Literally, I have to consciously stop myself from listening to them just so they don't get old. And now they have been releasing their new singles and I just get sucked back in because they're just so good. In my opinion, this is the best new deathcore band there is, bar none. Before moving on with the next riff, I just want to give a big shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Statement Collective. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I like to use jewelry, especially chains, a lot. Like, this is how I dress for my everyday. I always wear at least a small piece of jewelry. And in my opinion, Statement Collective has some of the best designs there is, as you can see. The first piece that I chose to get was, of course, their signature barbed wire chain. I think the first time I saw this particular chain was on Adam D'Amico like 3 years ago, and ever since I've been wanting one badly. I think it looks so hard. Then I also went with one of their newer designs, their chainsaw Cuban style chain, which I think it looks mega hard. Also wanted something a little bit different, so I went with this cross pendant that even my mom loved how it looks. Then I also needed a new bracelet, so I went with a classic Cuban style chain bracelet, which I mean, you cannot go wrong with one of these. Statement carries pieces in stainless steel, which is what I went for. Sterling silver, which is a more matte kind of finish as opposed to the shiny ones that I wear. And they also offer gold plated because you cannot have a jewelry store and not have some golden jewelry. All the members that run this company are all musicians, like my friend Dan Lowry, which you might recognize from his Riff videos on Instagram. And it's also worn by a lot of members of many bands, which is how I got to know this company. It's worn by bands like Lorna Shore, Spite, Fallujah, Escape the Fate, From Ashes to New, amongst many others. If you find any of this cool and you're interested in upgrading your drip, then you can use my promo code JOJO15 at checkout to get 15% off of your first purchase. Link will be in the description and the pinned comment of this video. Once again, thank you so much to Statement Collective for sponsoring this video and for keeping me looking very swaggy. But now, back to the riffs. Moving along, we have another highly requested band, and it's a band that I know very well, but I don't listen to very often. It's Alpha Wolf with Akudama. Alpha Wolf, I think, is one of the most popular new metalcore bands there is. They're from that new wave of bands that uses pitch shifting a lot. You know what? They have a lot of fun, simple riffs, so I think I've been sleeping on them a little bit. After that, we have another deathcore band. Yes, this is gonna be a very deathcore-centric episode because most of the bands that use drop G tuning are deathcore bands. It's Signs of the Storm with Amongst the Low and Empty. I was debating which song I should add from this band because I knew I wanted to include them. And there's this fast, super in-your-face, kind of technical riff in this song, and I was just loving it. I was replaying it over and over, and I was like, I think this is the one. I think this is the riff that I want to include on this video. But also I think it hits harder when you get a slower part before it. Another slam band, and another one that I've been listening to a lot lately. It's Bodybox with Real Cocaine Musak. I'm not gonna pronounce the name of this song correctly because YouTube stuff, but this band has grown on me a lot to the point that their latest album 3 has been one of the albums that I've listened to the most this year so far. I don't know what it is that I find so special about this band. Maybe it's the fact that Hunter Young from Psycho Friend produces it, but I know it's slam, but it sounds significantly different than the rest of the current slam bands. They have their own style, but it also, you know that it fits with the slam genre. Next up, we have another deathcore band that was very highly requested for most of the episodes. It's For An Autopsy with Heads Will Hang. I was really struggling to find a song that I wanted to include on this video. A lot of people mentioned Black Mammoth, but I felt like that wasn't mean enough for what I wanted for this episode. Some people mentioned this particular song, and I was like, yeah, this is it. This is the riff. 'Cause it has a very groovy, very sludgy vibe that I was just having so much fun learning and playing it. And on a side note, something that has always stood out to me from this band is that both Pat and Tim had both very good taste in guitars. I don't know, something that I just wanted to say. But hey, check this riff. Now we have one of the bands that I listened to the most last year, and I still listen to them, just not as much as I used to, but I still love them very much, and it's a band that could not be left out of this episode. It's Knocked Loose with Deathringer. I think Laugh Tracks was their only album where they used drop G, but they have so many songs in that tuning that they could pretty much play an entire set of just drop G songs. And I went with this song because I just think it's super catchy, super memorable. I find myself humming the second part of this riff a lot of the time when I'm cooking or doing a lot of my daily activities. And yeah, it was a lot of fun to play for this episode, so here you go. And last but not least, we all knew I had to include this band on the episode. It's Lorna Shore with To The Hellfire. I don't know, this is their most popular song, this is their viral song, and I was debating about which song I wanted to include from this band. I was thinking maybe something from Immortal, or something from Pain Remains, but I don't know, there's this one small, very particular section into the Hellfire after the long intro. It's very slammy and dumb and chuggy, and yes, I know it's another chuggy riff, but I'm gonna get any semblance of slam I can get on this series. That's the way it's gonna be, and you are gonna like it. But that's it for today's episode, gang. As always, let me know in the comments down below what are your favorite drop G riffs. Once again, a massive shout out to Statement Collective for sponsoring this video. Please go ahead and check them out. Link will be in the description down below. They have the coolest jewelry out there. If you would like to watch another video full of mean and nasty and disgusting riffs, you can watch it right here. All my social media links, my Discord link will be in the description down below. As always, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.